Welcome back to another episode of the Conversations and Libations podcast. We have our drinks and the bar is officially open. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Damn, take it back. We have our drinks and the bar is officially open. Highbrow. Don't cling your glass. We established that how long ago, and I forget it every time.
I don't know, episode 2.
Something like that, right? Yeah, it was the espresso martini. I remember that. I know that for sure.
Oh, with the black beans?
Yeah. Oh, no, that was terrible. That was terrible. Blah. But yeah, we got a highbrow it, give the Great Gatsby nod. Tonight we're drinking the Bourbon Rickey. Mm-hmm. It's good.
It's very good.
It would be something I would see as an everyday drink, for sure.
Yeah, it's real light, real refreshing. Yeah. I mean, to me, it would be my replacement for iced tea.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Hey. Exactly. Something you could put in a water bottle, go all day with. Things like that. Take it to the track.
Go to work.
Get a nice jog in. Stuff like that. Put it in the Camelback and go on a nice bike ride.
Sure, why
not? I would not do that because it's carbonated.
But you could.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So from experience, don't do that.
What about the beer mile? Beer has bubbles.
Anyways, don't do that. I, one year in college for Halloween, I don't remember exactly what I dressed up with, but I had a Camelback. And I did rum and Coke, not thinking about it, in my Camelback.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
An hour later, I'm just drenched all down the back because it popped the seal on the bottom where the hose was.
Nice.
Oh, because of the carbonation shaking it up.
Too much pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. That's not a bad idea just for that reason alone, though. That's just a bad idea in general. I think the intent was good.
Just make sure. I guess you can just use water instead of club soda. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, just water with a little bit of salt in it instead of carbonation.
Yeah, I don't know. Not the same. Mm. But I get where you're coming from. I respect it. I just, nah.
Just not feeling it.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think there's more to it than that. I think you have to respect the drink. If you're going to drink something, drink it right.
Yeah.
Whether you like it that way, I mean, if you like it a different way, great. I am not a scotch and water, hold the scotch kind of guy, so... Name that movie.
Oh, man, don't do that to me.
I don't think you know it. I'm not sure you know it. You may know it,
okay,
but it's probably not like
I'll be honest, I don't.
Really? A movie guy, and you don't know that?
I mean, maybe, but I don't remember that line specifically.
All right, it's The Waterboy.
I actually have watched that show.
Yep.
I have not seen that movie
Scotch and water?
So long.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of movie references or jokes in TV shows and stuff reference scotch as like a drink that people drink to like show off that they drink, but they don't actually drink. So it's just like Michael Scott's like, yeah, it's a Scotch and Splenda. It's drunk like Scotch, tastes like Splenda.
The amount of Splenda that you'd have to put in that to actually make it taste like Splenda.
It would be like a bad.
That would be nasty.
That would be so nasty.
Ugh.
It would basically be like a goo, like a gel.
Yeah.
Like sludge. Sludge scotch, why not, right? So you can put it on your pancakes.
Ooh.
There you go. I know.
Add a little bit of maple syrup to it.
Now you're talking. I think we just came up with a thing.
We'll leave the Splenda out, and then we'll talk.
All right. I mean, hey, I'm here to experiment. Not experiment like what we were just talking about that drink. That I think I'm experimented out on that one. That one was gnarly. I feel like we need to talk about that. What that became.
Yeah. So the original plan for this episode, I was going to have fun with it and kind of make it a game. So my plan was to ask both you guys a series of questions to design the cocktail instead of coming up with one.
So chic of you.
So I asked Nick which liquor to start with. Came up with a gin.
Yeah. Great call. Good job, Nick.
And then I told you to pick between 1 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me 2.
Excellent choice.
Going to David, with that 2, I wanted 2 mixers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let me defend myself. I don't use mixers. and that's what I thought you were referencing. Anyway,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'll take blame on that one. I should have clarified mixer as in anything that can be
It
put
was,
with
I was say it was a
liquor.
explanation /
Yes.
lingual error.
Something like
lime juice,
Yeah, okay.
Coke, orange juice.
yeah,
You know,
all things I don't use.
something.
Yeah. Respectable. Understand.
The two that I got back, sour mix, great. That would have already pairing well with Jen.
Absolutely.
Great. Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah, that was just a
Plan
royal-
out. Plan
Okay.
went down the drain instantly.
Oh, keep
total
going, keep
kick in the
going.
nuts.
And then I asked David one or two. You said two. I went to my wife for the number of garnishes: mint and blackberries.
Yep, another might I add, kick in the nuts.
Yeah. Without the Bloody Mary mix, I could have made that all work. Muddle the mint and blackberry together with the gin, add some sour mix. I don't think that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Well, you could have
It's
just
the
put a
Bloody Mary
a
mix.
Bloody Mary floater
Oh,
Yeah.
or a
This is
sinker.
a-
how
this is a
bad?
no floater
I
zone.
think it would have sunk. I don't think that would have floated.
Something would.
I don't even want to think about the look of that red just sitting there, separated.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what would have happened if you let it sit too long.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Gross.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. I don't use mixers.
Yeah, I don't think any of us really do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only when we're making drinks for like the show.
Well,
and
like
stuff. Yeah.
let's clarify. We don't typically utilize a pre-mixed, like pre-made mixer.
Yes.
Yeah, like a distinguishing. Like I cannot tell you the last time that I've made a margarita with margarita mix.
No.
Exactly.
And that would be like probably the most common thing. Maybe sour mix or Bloody Mary mix. Those
Well, yeah.
probably are common, the most. But like realistically, yeah, I couldn't even tell you that.
Yeah. No, I couldn't tell you last time I used one.
I remember when I was like, I don't know. I thought it was funny because it was on Bob's Burgers. So I just always said, I was like, you know, there's a scene in there where like the kids are trying to be like rebels and they get I want to say it's a margarita mix, just like a regular non-alcoholic margarita mix. And somebody gets it out and it's like, hey, I brought margarita mix. And one of the guys is like, oh yeah, the heavy stuff. So I was just like, anything that's non-alcoholic, I always like reference that. So like when I was like 19 or 20 or 21, I was like, all right, the heavy stuff. And I literally never drank mix of anything.
No.
Yeah.
Like it just was not worth it for me.
It's okay. Now that we've clarified the boundaries and the guidelines, we're going to try again.
Yeah, yeah.
About a month, maybe.
Do it about a
We'll
month
see.
or two, and by then I'll forget what.
And then you'll say Bloody Mary mix
And I'll
again.
say, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I said Bloody Mary mix.
You say Bloody Mary mix again, I'm actually going to make the drink.
And
I feel
he's
like we
and
almost
he's going to
have
drink
to.
it.
I feel like we almost have to.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, time out. I have been a great sport about all this bullshit you guys want me to try.
Pickle ice cream?
I'm not trying to pick ice cream. I'm
Not a
I
good
draw
sport.
the
I
line.
have to keep bringing.
Not a good sport.
I draw the line there. I have been firm on that.
Oh, I passed by the spicy dill pickle vodka today.
This-
Oh,
Yeah, that's wild. But my stance on the pickle ice cream is not like your stance we talked about on the last episode, that me saying, hey, you're a douchebag, and actually like beating someone. You literally went from, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, being a smartass, to, oh yeah, no, it's assault. My line on the pickle ice cream is pretty straightforward. Your line on assault and verbal abuse, that's a wavy line.
Again, just like we talked about, depends on who it's to.
I mean, I respect that. I don't know. I feel like that's I will try stuff. I'll try stuff. I'll give it a try. Not the ice cream, though. That's garbage. That does
Next
not
episode's
have a place.
last call is going to be the spicy dill pickle vodka.
ice cream, spicy dill pickle vodka ice cream. I've got the ice cream maker.
No. No.
Couple pickle spears,
Yeah,
chamoy on top.
and
No.
a Bloody Mary floater. Bloody Mary floater.
That drink hitting you already over there?
Oh,
You guys are gross. You guys are gross.
Nick and I have sipped, and
Oh, dude, he's like Lightning McQueen when it comes to drinking things.
I thought maybe the taller glass would get him, but nope,
You
that
thought
made
wrong.
it worse.
It was mostly soda, so
Dude, I'll start a drink
It is a good amount of
like
soda.
an hour before David, and he'll have his gone, and I'll be like exactly where we're at right now. Like, just enjoying myself. David's like, this is my 12th one.
All right.
that was back in the day.
So-
I can't do that anymore.
David, I won't ask you because we know how you drink.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Nick, when you were drinking with someone else, do you make it a point to try and stay along the same level so you're finishing at the same time?
It depends on what's happening. If somebody asks me like, hey, let's go out for a beer, then yes. Like I think it's specific to that because like if somebody's just asking me like let's go and hang out and go to a bar or to go to a brewery or a distillery or something like that, I try to do. I don't know if there's really any other reason other than I feel like I am just like it's social.
Okay.
You know, like but not I don't necessarily like if I'm
I've always been the
dinner
same.
with
Yeah,
someone,
I've always been the same way. Like even sometimes at dinner.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm invited out, whoever invited me out, I will stay with them and try and match.
I will say though, I've always been like I drink a lot of water in general, and I've always been a pretty slow like alcohol drinker. I think just because like I was always really cognizant of like how many I had, which I mean that just comes from like my background of like paying attention with playing ball and stuff. Like I don't want to go overboard or anything. So I pay pretty close attention. So like I've always been pretty slow, like to nurse my drinks, to be honest with you. So I mean, if I were to go out, it is uncommon for me to get more than one or two. But I mean, for the most part, I stay up. Like we've gone and gotten beers before. Like
well,
I
and
stay
that's
pretty close.
kind of what my thought process was because I'm that way, and I always feel weird sometimes in my head. I'm like, I'm trying to match them. Is it weird? So I wanted to get your opinion.
Yeah, it also depends on what I'm drinking. If I'm drinking mixed drinks, I babysit for sure. Like I'll sit on them.
I think mine depends on the mixed drink.
That's true too. That is true.
Like if I'm drinking Bloody Marys at home, I'd had 7 before 9 a.m.
Yeah, like different things. Yeah, it does depend. I'll give you that. It does depend on what it is. I've had like if I'm drinking a lot of whiskey, I'm probably not drinking that many.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking like on our honeymoon, we got a bunch of mimosas. Dude, yes.
Now, I will say, most of my drinking I do at home.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot out in
I
public.
agree, yeah.
Whenever I go to dinner, I'll typically order a cocktail.
Yeah.
Might have just the one. Most of the time it is just the one for the entire dinner. And I do the same thing, especially if I get invited out and the other person's paying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and slam it and say, bring more.
Yeah. Keep them coming. Well's open.
That's right.
Now,
I will
Nick's
say,
paying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will say that coworker of mine and we got invited out for a drink, and that particular person was paying. So I was like, okay, sure, and I was taking my time on my old fashioned and looked, and his was gone.
And you're like, huh. Well, if that's how it's going to be,
I was like,
I respect it.
I can't keep up with that. Nothing. Still gotta.
But see, like that's kind of my point, right? Like if it depends on what I'm drinking, and I don't typically try to keep up because I don't care. I just am enjoying my drink. Also, I'm a big proponent of like I'm an advocate of like I know that if I have a drink with ice in it, that the ice over time is changing the drink, and I actually quite prefer that. Not from like I want it to be watered down. I just like kind of how it changes over time.
Yes.
So I'm not necessarily. I'm just not a fast alcohol drinker by any means. I'm not a fast drinker of anything.
And see, to me, I can't taste the alcohol. So it's kind of like
For 2 ounces of bourbon, now granted, the lime juice helps with the bite of the
Right,
bourbon,
right.
and the club soda just kind of makes it savory. Like be
Yeah,
able
it tops it a lot.
yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think that's kind of where I stand on that. I don't know. But like at the same time, like I don't want to be rude and like hold people up or anything. Also, I try to keep up, like if we're just hanging out and doing something, like if I know somebody's like, hey, let's go grab a quick drink. It's like, cool, we'll do that. But I don't want to like force them to feel like they have to stay.
quick drink. Okay, see ya.
Yeah, yeah. But like I also like am pretty good about paying attention to like who I'm with.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends.
Okay.
But if I'm like we're out of town or something and I know I'm not driving,
It's a whole different story.
I'll have some drinks.
Going on work trips. Oh, it's so bad. My old boss and I.
Oh, dude.
I'd get he was the guy finished with his old fashioned, and I'm at half.
Yeah.
Waiter comes over. We need more?
Yes.
More?
Yeah.
And then now I've got 3 full glasses in front of me, like that I'm still trying to catch up.
Yeah.
My old boss, same deal. We talk about that often. Like, oh man, hey, you remember when we were at this place? Yes, I do.
Barely.
I remember it. Shouldn't, but I do. Yeah, very much. Like, go find a place to drink and just hang out. Also, it's kind of like cultural too. Like if we're in a different city, and I've been to a lot of places in the U.S., but like especially if I haven't been somewhere, I enjoy kind of getting the idea of like what's customary,
Right?
Because like different drinks are different in different cities, right? So I kind of enjoy that, and I'll try as many things as I can. But I again am not just out getting pounded either.
Yeah.
It's at least not the intent ever. So yeah, I can't even tell you the last time that I really was like feeling my alcohol. It's been a while.
I wish I could say the same.
Like last night.
St. Patty's Day.
No, that was not too long.
St.
ago.
Patty's Day with my brother-in-law.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is he a leprechaun?
Is he?
No. You know my brother-in-law.
But is
Do you
he?
think my brother-in-law is
Is
a
he?
leprechaun?
He's got a red beard.
My sister's a leprechaun.
Your sister's got a red beard.
That's fair. They do offset each other.
What?
Red beard, wears a hat. Your sister apparently hates me.
It's 4'11".
Yeah, she's a little person. She's not a little person.
I had-
She's a small stature human.
I specifically told them to listen to that episode and played that specific part where we talked about it, and she's just shaking her head the entire time.
Because she
My
was,
brother-in-law was dying.
well, it's just hilarious to me because I was like so confused what was happening. And my wife's like, good job. Now she probably thinks you're a crazy person. I was like, A,
We
that
already
is
know that's
normal.
the truth.
B, I didn't do anything except the requirements of the game that we were playing at that time.
Staring her down.
Which I really wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm an intimidating person when it comes to things like that. I don't know. You never played against me before, and then you did then.
Yeah.
Am I an intimidating person based on playing sport? I mean, okay, there is a difference in me on a ball field and there is on a pickleball court.
I mean,
I'm definitely, though, like, I can confidently say, for sure, that, like, if I'm playing pickleball and my partner is, like, a 70-year-old woman, I'd be like, come on, Gina. What's going on out here? Move up to the line. That would be me.
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's the alpha coming out.
Like, let's say I'm playing with
And
Debbie.
you don't think you're intimidating?
Okay. I can't.
Oh,
Should have
gosh.
took my Geritol.
I don't consider that to be intimidating. I do consider that to be I'm competitive, and I have a hard time flipping that switch.
Okay.
But I don't consider that to be intimidating. I just like to win. Who doesn't like to win? Who's like, yeah, it's cool. Oh, there's a lot of people. I like to win.
There's no participation trophies in my house.
No, there will be no participation trophies in our house because it's important to learn how to fail.
Yes. I think participation trophies are the stupidest thing in the world.
I don't understand them. I get what people are trying to do with the whole, I want, like, you don't want people to feel left out. Here's the problem with that. If you do that, it's the same concept as if all days are great days, no days are great days, right? It's the same concept with winning and losing. It's not because that kid is a terrible person. Oh, well, their feelings are hurt. It is entirely possible that the other person on the other side of the ball or court or whatever you're playing has worked harder to be better.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of the reason that I'm not the shortstop for the New York Yankees. I was never that good, A. They're good as hell. But part two is like, if it was just about feelings, I can just call up Steinbrenner family and be like, I should probably be a starter because my feelings matter. And I'm not saying that feelings don't matter. I'm simply saying it's important to learn how to fail.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah. Because my feelings matter.
No, not yours specifically.
Yeah, I just am. It's so weird, though. I remember like when the onslaught of participation trophies really became a thing, and I was like, I just don't care. Like, I was competitive enough, even as a younger kid, that I was like, this is garbage. Like, this is actual garbage. Like, I will throw this away. I do not want it. Because it's just a reminder of me failing, right? Like, I want to go win.
But you're supposed to learn how to fail.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I'm not going to go take that and put it in my house somewhere, like, put it on a trophy shelf. Like, it's not going to be like, championship, well, here's a 12th place. Feel really good about that one. Like, no, you shouldn't feel good about that. You lost based on your lack of ability to prepare. And that's not always true. I take that back. That's not always true. Somebody has to lose. I have this conversation a lot with my wife and her in-law, like her parents and stuff. So my father-in-law, really competitive, a high-level baseball player also, so we get along well in that regard. And like her mom will say stuff like, we'll be watching a game or something, or like, let's take the Super Bowl, for example, right? We're excited. Chiefs won, right? And she's like, oh, don't you just feel bad for the other team? I'm like, hell no, I don't feel bad for the other team. No, somebody's got to lose. Better them than me, right? Like, that's the way it is. Like, and I'm not saying I'm not getting into the conspiracy conversations, okay? Like, I'm not doing that. Reality is that somebody has to lose. Somebody has to lose.
Why would you feel sorry for a team that lost in the Super Bowl game? They're obviously second in the whole country.
The free world, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, the reality for me is like that particular aspect is like, yes, it is horrible losing. Like, it sucks, but it's a fighting battle. Like, you're like that's like some of my point is like learning to fail is like, I'm not going to go home and be like, well, I'm done. This is stupid. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, I need to learn that. Everybody should learn that.
Well, I think participation trophies started coming out when my kids were young.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're the same age as my kids.
That's right. I almost forgot to ask. Did you reconnect with that buddy from NAM that you were talking about?
No, we couldn't connect because he didn't have any legs.
That is not PC, David. But yeah, I mean, it's about that time, right? Like, that was kind of what was the thing.
Yeah.
That was a really long, drawn-out conversation about participation trophies. But I find them to be bullshit.
That's fair.
I am not a participation trophy guy. I don't care. Give the kid a trophy.
Strong words for a millennial.
No. I am a millennial. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I am a millennial, but I just am like, I think it's pretty natural in competitive nature. Like, you just don't want to. I don't want personally a participation trophy. I want to know that I worked hard enough to earn.
Oh no, I totally agree with you.
And I mean, let's take the runner up in the Super Bowl, for example. They clearly worked hard. Mm-hmm. It's not like that's why I don't feel bad, right? Like, the reality is somebody has to win. They both are teams that have clearly worked hard all season to get to where they are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, oh, well, they just outworked them. Like, that's possible in that game.
Yeah.
They probably outworked them in that singular game, or some things went their way and some other things didn't go their way. Stuff like that. That stuff happens. That's like, I mean, we talk about it all the time in the baseball world. It's like, well, the ball just didn't really bounce our way. And when we didn't have that happening, like when things were going our way, we didn't take advantage of those things. There's a lot more to it than just somebody won and somebody lost. Somebody has to lose.
No, I was about to say, no, there's not.
Someone's got to lose.
Yeah, when two teams are playing, somebody's got to lose.
That's exactly right. I think John Wick thinks that way too. Somebody's got to lose, and I don't want to be the one to lose.
I'm going to need
no idea
guns.
who I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, I was going to say we are going to have to.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Whew. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case.
I'm going to need guns.
Yeah, in his case,
A lot of guns.
well, if you're fighting against John Wick, you definitely need guns because in the first one, the guy talks about how he witnessed him in a bar take out a bunch of dudes with a pencil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that takes a whole different kind of mentality. In that case, it is you or me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I respect that. There's no participation trophy there. What does the dead guy get? He participated in the fight.
Buried.
Oh, is that a trophy?
Or cremated.
Is that a trophy?
Well, you got a headstone.
He gets to sleep.
That's true.
Does a headstone is that a trophy?
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
It's a thing. Do you really bury a henchman and put a headstone there?
I don't know.
Here lies Bobby
No.
the Third.
I'm going to be cremated, so I don't know.
That's fair. So your headstone is just going to be sitting peacefully on a mantle.
No, I don't want to be kept.
I'm going to be taxidermied.
I want to.
That would be the day. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, I've already told my wife I want to be cremated and then dumped into the North Atlantic.
Nice.
The North Atlantic.
Yes.
I'm going to need some context here.
Okay.
It just feels so random.
Well, somewhere up in the New England states.
But why?
So, because I love it up there and the fish is good. Seafood's wonderful.
Sure.
People are wonderful.
Nothing like good lobster roll.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea you were such a North Atlantic guy.
I would love to retire in the New England area.
Okay, so this is in that same vein. Okay, so my dad says he wants to be cremated, right? He says this. I don't know what their actual intentions are, right? I have no idea. But
Right.
he says he wants to be cremated and he wants to be spread out on the field that I played college ball on.
Okay.
There's a couple problems with that now. First of all, I don't think that's like a sanitary thing. Like they probably wouldn't let you do that. Secondly, that field's turf now, so
That might be a problem. Okay.
It won't
Okay.
work out. But like maybe they can like put him in the locker room, or like maybe he can just like hang out in the dugout. I don't know. Maybe they do that. I don't know.
Just mix it into the Gatorade for one of the games.
Bleh.
It's just ash. Just a little ashy.
No. Fast facts.
I was
That
wondering
is-
what that spasm was.
That was a great transition.
Yeah, that's how I roll. You know, after all, it's the way it is. Anyway,
So yeah, we're drinking a Bourbon Rickey, which is 2 ounces of bourbon, ½ ounce of lime juice
Bourbon
over
Rickey.
ice, topped with club soda. Can be made in a pint glass, highball glass, pretty much however you want it, depending on how much club soda you want in your cocktail.
I would opt for less.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that too. I thought it would be better in a kind of a tall. We had talked about
Yeah.
recently doing that.
Yeah.
So
I think it just doesn't have enough flavor to me. I like it. I would drink it again. I think that I think that it's a pretty straightforward cocktail, so it's pretty simple. But I would definitely do less next time.
So my question for you guys is: have you heard of a gin Rickey?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gin Richard, of course.
Which one do you guys think came first?
The chicken.
Richard. Dick. You got that out. Yeah, ASMR. That stuff.
Came first.
It was the ASMR that came first. Excuse you.
So a lot of people think the gin Rickey came first.
Okay.
It was actually the Bourbon Rickey. So in the late 19th century, Joe Rickey, who was a colonel in the army at the time,
Okay.
loved to drink bourbon. Well, the problem was during the summer times when it was hot, and as people know from watching movies and stuff back then, guys wore suits all year round, so you were
Yep.
always fully clothed. He wanted a way to drink his bourbon all year round without that heaviness and making him kind of hot. But he hated sweet drinks, which I found funny when you asked me
Right.
sweet or
Sweet or
not on the
unsweet,
lime juice.
Right.
Had to be not sweet because that's the whole reason for this drink.
Right.
It started with he would just do this with the bourbon with the seltzer, sparkling water. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And then at one point, lime got added to it to kind of help with that burn of the bourbon, like we had talked about,
Right.
to make it a summer cocktail. Years later, people started experimenting. They didn't like bourbon. They tried it with gin, hence the Gin Rickey came in.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And now you know the rest of the story.
Now I know the rest of the story. That's right. This is totally random. I just thought about the fact that we haven't heard the dog bark all night. I feel it's worth noting. Feel it's worth because we don't hear it that much anyway.
Wow.
I feel it's worth noting that I do not hate dogs or animals because I was laughing about the last episode where I was just like, dang it, he's being so frustrating. He's actually my little buddy, and he's just really old and bitter, so he barks at everything.
And there's been no animals harmed during this recording.
That's correct. He's also a Chihuahua, so contextually, you should kind of just know what I'm talking about with his yappiness.
That's what they do.
That is what they do.
Yeah.
But I love that little man. I love all the doggies. Big cat guy too. Anyway, Gin Richard.
Yeah.
Well, Bourbon Richard.
Bourbon.
Yeah, I do like it. I definitely. You can look at it and tell there should be some more action going on.
Yeah. Well, and like we talked about, I probably used a little bit too much ice.
Sure.
Could have made it in highball. I think the way, especially we're tasting it now, it's very much watered down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it shouldn't be this clear.
Yeah.
No.
But it's still good.
I can still see it through it.
Unfortunately.
It's very similar color to the bathwater you put in our last drink.
Not even close. Maybe a little bit.
Mine pretty dang close.
That was after the second batch.
Yours is right spot on.
Yeah, can I get 2 more ounces of bourbon?
Don't dislike it all. Would have it again. Would have it differently next time.
Yep.
But it's worth a drink. It's also a very simple drink, like we talked about. I am all about simple cocktails. I'm all about drinks that I can make easily at home, not waste time making the drink, and not have to think about it. I think that's an important aspect for me. I don't know. I say that a lot, like just with being a daddy and stuff. Like there's not a lot of time in the night. So if I'm having a drink, I want to make it quick.
Yeah. And this is a super fast. There's no shaking involved. It's literally you build it in the cup.
Just, stir if you want.
Yeah, stir if you want. That's it.
Otherwise it's pretty straightforward. But I do like it. I don't know. What do you think, David? Any other thoughts on it? It's pretty simple.
No, it's very simple. I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Less ice, less soda.
Yeah, I wonder how it would be in more of like a low ball, like a much smaller glass.
And you could do a big rock.
Yeah, just
to still chill
cube.
it without adding the water to it, diluting it.
I also wonder how different it is with different types of bourbon. Like if you did more smokiness or something like that. And this is so simple that you could add other things to it and make it a little different as well.
Yeah, if you like sweetness, you can either do a sweet and lime, maybe a little simple syrup, bathwater. However you want it.
All the bathwater action. Like you said. There's not a lot to say about it. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Good work. Way to bring this instead of the whatever we were going to have.
Oh, that Fruit Loop water.
That Fruit Loop water was wild.
Ugh.
Also, I would like to note that your wife agreed with me that it tasted like Fruit Loops.
So she did not try it. She just smelled
it. So
she said that it
like
does resemble Fruit Loops.
Yep, see?
I had nightmares that night.
Bada bing. Did you? about liars, gin
haven't had that
sneaking
bad
up on you?
PTSD since NAMM.
That's right.
Not funny. It's a real thing. Anyway, good drink. We'll do it differently next time. On to the next. Think it's time for a quick break. Welcome back. What a phantasmic break. I know. I'm overly excited after the break. It's funny, too, because on the last episode you said after the first break. I'm not sure what the second break is.
There was a couple episodes that we had 2 breaks. Right before last call, we were doing a small break.
Meh. That break was the participation trophy of podcasts. Not needed. Anyway,
all right.
I do hope that you guys enjoy tonight's topic. I have a more fun one, and I've been enjoying these topics lately. So this particular one is not pulled up. Fantastic, because why would it be? It would be much better if it was, but it isn't. There we go. All right, to the bottom of the list. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
No.
All right. It's a pretty overarching topic, but it does have a pretty specific question within it. Horror movie villains. Okay? Let's just take, for example, you're in a scary movie. Whether it be like you're the main character, right? How are you getting away from them? And what is the very stupid mistake that the people in the movie theater are yelling to not do that you're definitely doing? It's kind of like that commercial where they're like, let's just get in the running car. And he's like, are you crazy?
Let's hide behind the chainsaw.
Let's hide behind the chainsaw. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? Something like that. And I don't know. I feel like I need to add to that. Like, what movie would it be? Like, what scary character would you be trying to get away from?
The Leprechaun.
Really? Why? Just because he's pot of gold?
Just because.
Not into it?
Aren't you a little old to be believing in leprechauns, Lenny?
He can do it.
No, I mean, realistically, I don't think you have to specify villain, just because if you really think about it, Texas Chainsaw, Freddy, Jason, they're all the same thing. It's one guy chasing a bunch of people.
That's not true.
What is that series of movies? Final Destination.
Oh, yeah, that's not a...
But that's not a villain.
They're escaping
That's a
death.
suspenseful. That's not really a horror.
They're also literally cheating death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and death catches up.
Yeah. They're also on, like, Final Destination 43, I think.
Was it 43? I saw 44 last night.
I actually have no idea, but for the last time I saw one come out, I was like, wow.
Well,
I do think, honestly, I think it's 9.
It was a
8 or
bunch.
9.
Yeah.
Is it
It's a
really?
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Saw. I mean,
Yeah.
how many different ways can you cut people up with a saw? I don't understand. What is it, Saw 10?
But that's not the premise though.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Well, I think that
It's
was how it was in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It became a whole other series after
Really?
like 2 or 3.
It actually,
Well, I never saw the
rather
first
than-
one, so
Well, to give credit to that, they are pretty well written as a whole. Some of them are a little. You're like, come on. I'm not into just being bloody just to be bloody. Like it's a whole different stupidity to me. But like if like the most recent one had a fairly good storyline to it, I was like, okay, that was pretty realistic to have like a good idea behind what happened to make this character what it is. But like if you're not writing a good story, I don't really care about your movie. Like I don't want it to be just like nasty or like, like I said, like gory just for the sake of gory. Like that's just not for me.
I think the last horror movie that I saw was Hellraiser.
Yeah. That's good. I like Hellraiser. Pandora's Box, man.
Yeah, that one was
like-
kind of freaky.
It's like what he says on Pineapple Express. Pandora's already out of the box. It doesn't go back in the box.
Okay.
I think to your point, that is not accurate. And I think based on
semi-accurate.
Well, I think the premise is accurate, like murdery villain. Yes.
And it's one dude chasing typically a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Well, like high school aged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like my point, I'll say my rebuttal to your statement is that there's still different things that happen. Freddy Krueger, don't fall asleep because that's where he goes and got you. You don't want that. But I get sleepy. So what do? And then,
awake.
like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's a couple of fixes for that. Stay out of Texas. Stay away from general massacres. Don't go near a chainsaw. Those things are pretty
It
relative.
wasn't a general massacre. It was a barbecue shop.
I don't know that I remember that. Let's go with Halloween. Just avoid Halloween at all costs. Just skip over
In
that
your
day.
house, you're going to do that?
No, that's never happening
That's
in my
what I
home. That's never happening in my home. We love Halloween. But I do respect the thought that it is a pretty straightforward thing. Yeah. Let's go with Friday the 13th. Avoid Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
You should not go there. Bad things happen there.
Although, I believe in one of the later ones...
Is that the one where it's Freddy versus Jason and they're in space?
Yeah.
What?
That's one of them. They're in space.
I
No,
think
no. It's Jason X.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
But yes, for instance, Freddy versus Jason, part of that does happen at the camp.
Oh,
but
the movie.
probably
Yeah.
75% of that movie doesn't.
I thought you were talking about part of the scenario of Freddy versus Jason as a whole. It's like, oh, I didn't know that.
No, the movie itself
Yeah.
does happen partially at the camp, but also not.
I can honestly say it's been long enough ago that I've seen that I don't remember it well.
Well, and
But anyway.
where did Freddy start?
He was a mill worker.
Wasn't it in a specific city that he didn't leave? But then, I mean, half of his
Started
movies-
on Elm Street, Andrew.
Yeah,
Pick an Elm Street in the United States. It started there.
And it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
But-
that street sucks, man.
but that being said,
Stay
same
off
thing.
of Elm Street.
Same thing.
Yeah.
3, 4. I mean, nice.
It gets me every time.
It makes ice.
They get away from Elm Street at some point.
So is that the move? Just leave Elm Street?
No, because he's still fat. He still chases them.
It's because you sleep other places other than Elm Street. It's not like I can just go to a friend's house and stay over and be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to have a slumber party because, Freddy Krueger's not here. Anyway, back to the original point. What would you do to get away from a villain?
Well, like you said, not do what you see all these people do on the TV.
But what would the thing be that you did that they're like, don't do that?
Okay.
Know that
what-
my car is actually full of gas and I'm going to get in it and just drive away.
What's the name
Yeah.
of the movie? Where the
There's
house
lots.
is haunted.
Oh, man. What is that?
Well, anyway, and whenever
that's-
the person's standing at the sink and hears a voice, "Get out!" Bye.
That's
No,
true.
see-
I will not pursue. Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would.
no,
I would head
if
out.
a house
You
talks
do
to
pursue,
me,
but you pursue different than they do.
no,
You don't try and get the ghost gone. You make friends. Say, okay, I'm not going anywhere. Come out and play. I'm not going to hire
Oh,
an
no.
exorcist to kick the ghost out. I'm going to hang out with
You
them.
have no idea how they're going to play.
I disagree. I don't think you're ever like, let's just go play.
Yeah, no.
Like, we're not just going to all go out and make a sandcastle and have a great day.
Have you not seen Scary Movie?
That's dumb.
He at one point makes friends with the ghost and everybody's happy.
That's dumb. Okay, so then let's go with like a different character, right? Let's say that it's not a ghost that you can just hang out with. Okay? Murdery villain. Scream movies, for example. Nobody's just like, oh, well, he doesn't like. Okay, let me just put it this way. What's the Ghostface, right? That's the character's name.
Yep.
Right.
He doesn't just be like, well, you're a really good guy. Let's just hang out. I would assume that that's the same with ghosts. They're probably not just like, well, they're probably an okay
You
person.
clearly haven't seen Scary Movie because they hang out with him in that movie too.
That is satire garbage.
No, you run and you don't stop because that's I think.
What if
the
you're out of
movies-
shape? I would have to stop.
Okay, then you stop.
I can't run for days.
You stop appropriately.
Well, but see, here's the problem because, like in Halloween, I go running. I could run. Let's just say I was a marathon runner. Michael Myers is better.
He doesn't stop.
Yeah,
No.
he just keeps going. I turn around and he's 10 steps closer every time. I'm running 27 miles an hour, and he's just like walking at 40. Like, what the hell? That's my point.
Well, I kind of have a disadvantage because I haven't watched a lot of these movies.
So what scary movies do you like?
I don't.
What scary movies do you know?
Wow. I could tell you something that scared the hell out of me whenever I was a child, and it was a trilogy. I can't remember what it was called. Dang it! But anyway, there was a little statue of a I don't know.
This is riveting.
Yeah, when his belt fell off, it came alive, and he'd run around and kill people. And as a child, that scared the snot out of me.
This is a movie?
The Trilogy of Terror, something like that.
I was thinking you were thinking something like the Indian in the cupboard or whatever.
No, this was long before you were born. Long before you were thought of.
Is this before or after Nam?
This one might be after.
After.
Okay.
Yeah,
might be after.
It was after Nam.
Huh. I don't know that one. You know what? I feel like we have this device.
It was the Trilogy of Terror. I think that's...
Speaking of the device, I did
check
look up. There are 5 Final Destinations.
Oh, wow. We were way off.
Yeah. I definitely thought there were way more.
Trilogy of Terror. Well, I got to say, the first image is real dumb.
That's... yeah, that's him. Look
at this.
Well, I was a child, okay?
No. I'm not invalidating.
Yeah.
I'm not invalidating your fear of this thing. I'm just saying, like, that's like sign of the times, right? Like,
Right. It was back in the 70s.
Movies are scarier now probably than they were because of the ability to create.
Yeah.
A
This
scene.
was back in the 70s, after Nam.
Oh well, this image is just like, I can't get over the fact that it's just like a little character and she's just like. I mean, okay, so like let's take for example, right? Like one of my things is if the Child's Play movies.
I got another.
Right? Chucky.
Love them.
Right? I'm a big Child's Play movie, like that movie in general and that series, like those particular, like I like the stories, right? I'm not so sure that there's anything on this planet that would stop me from absolutely drop kicking him across the room. Now, I don't know. I'm not in the scenario, but I would be like, does anybody get the reference if I say Ray Finkel? Oh my gosh.
I want to say yes.
What do you think?
I want to say no. Because I
Probably
don't
don't know.
The name sounds familiar. In the movie I'm thinking of, I know I'm
5,
not correct.
4,
I'm
3,
thinking Honey,
2,
I Shrunk the Kids.
No. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Oh.
That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah. Laces out. That would be me. I would be very much like a professional football kicker, and I'd be like, you're going to chase after me with a knife? Prepare to find yourself in full contact with a boot. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love the movies.
Yeah,
but,
I just didn't ever get into horror movies.
Yeah.
I liked some of the older things, like the classic The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
That is a suspenseful horror show, and
It's a really long book.
it is. But I like things like that. The
So
killers,
how would you evade? We'll call it savagery of Mr. Jack Nicholson.
I'd have left that house. Say,
It's a hotel, but yeah.
or home, hotel.
I've actually been to that hotel. Have you guys been to that hotel in
No.
Colorado? Yeah, it's in Estes Park.
Nice.
It is pretty cool.
I've been in some buildings where walking down the hallway and it's just like, this kind of looks familiar.
Yeah. Took
I'm
a
waiting to
photo.
see some twins at the end.
Yeah, there is something kind of creepy about that, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What else? What other scary movies do we know that would be intriguing? I just accepted the fact that Michael Myers can speed walk past me. Like I know
Yeah,
for sure.
I did watch. I think the first show with him in.
Well, that was. I want to say that was like 78 when that first one came out. Maybe.
Yeah, and
Something like that.
I was kind of, I'm not into this. I watched the first
1978.
Yep.
I'm a super genius.
watched the first Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep. I think too the way movies are named is very important because it's not going to have the same effect if it's like Nightmare on Jameson Street,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Douglas. It's probably not the same, you know?
Yeah. Where I grew up, we had a movie theater. It was a single screen theater. So and I think most screens are 70 mil or.
I have no idea.
Anyway, this screen was wide. It was huge, and I saw a lot of movies there for the first time.
Dripping all over myself.
Yeah, when they first came out.
Yeah.
So the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Alien.
Yeah.
That was
How do
a
you
trip
get away
in
from
that. Yeah, no, you don't.
You just accept your fate in that situation, I think.
But when I was a child, I lived in a different state, and we were moving to Arkansas. Okay.
Perfect.
Hey, not a problem. So my dad's bright idea was to let's go watch a movie that just came out.
Perfect.
Yeah, The Legend of Boggy Creek.
Perfect. Yes.
Which was
Yeah.
Faust, Arkansas.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. And I'm assuming that's about where you were close to.
Well, no, but it wasn't too far. But
Yeah.
it was enough that
Close
I was
enough
in
to scare a
Arkansas.
little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're like, oh, that's here. All right, well, guess I'm not sleeping.
ever.
That Legend of Boggy Creek, I hear that when you moved to Arkansas, you moved onto Elm Street. Is that right? Is that true?
It's pretty close, yeah.
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 Yeah. I think that sounds right. All the facts are starting to line up. They also have Halloween in Arkansas, don't they?
They do. They also have a lot of close cousins. Sorry.
Does anyone own a saw in Arkansas?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's uncanny.
They also
the amount
have
of similarities.
toothbrushes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why they call it that. It makes me bananas.
We know why
is
they
a mystery.
call it that.
Yeah. Them's people call them.
I was gonna say, you probably say that. I've never been a native Colorado. a native Arkansanian.
I'm not a native Arkansan either.
Yeah,
I was
what's
transplanted.
the term?
Arkansan.
Arkansan.
Yeah.
Who came up with Arkansas?
Some Indians.
But why not Arkansas? Like, why aren't we called Kansas?
I have no idea.
Maybe we are.
We might be.
Maybe. Seems weird.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we were supposed to be.
Maybe. Yeah. So anything that ends in AS should be SAW or SA.
SAS.
Assad.
SAS. Shut up. So dumb.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So it seems you guys would not do anything.
No, I try to avoid areas like that. So
Just generally stay away.
yeah, if I see something suspicious, I'm not going to stick around.
I mean, and the reality of it is, what can you do? Because yes, there are dumb things that people do in movies. Hide in a closet. That's dumb. They're gonna
hide under the bed.
But I can also
you won't
say,
find me in a closet. I would be taking the door off.
But I can also,
It's just
I can also
obliterates.
say what I already said. I'm gonna just get in my car and drive away.
Yeah.
But if you also watch those movies, there's a sequel for a reason. And yes, you may get away. They find you.
So you're not going to go down the stairs into the basement where the lights won't come on?
No, you will very unlikely find me in a basement where the lights do not turn on and just be like, hello? Hello? Is there anyone down there? I thought I heard a really scary noise. Maybe I should go check it out.
Really? Because I could fully see you doing that.
There is less than a 0% chance that I would be doing some dumb shit like that.
Or carrying a flashlight that's flickering?
Right.
Yeah,
I knew I should have changed
Popping up
these
someone's
batteries.
right in my face. Yeah, exactly. Right up in your face is something, whatever it be. Ugh. There's a lot of stupidity that happens in scary movies. I gotta say.
There is.
Do you think that's the move? Like, it's just intended to make people angry, so they just like come to see it to just like yell at the screen. Like, it's just the nature of scary movies.
Could be.
Could be.
I've never understood it, so I couldn't answer.
Scary movies are actually reverse documentaries. They teach you what not to do.
What?
I want to say there's some logic in that, but I'm not sure there is.
I'm not finding it.
Yeah. No, I don't know that it's there. I tried though. I really gave it my best go. Yeah, no. I can't outrun Michael Myers. I can't not sleep. I could punt a doll.
He got punted a lot.
Yeah, or just like do one of those like what's the discus? Just like do like the discus with him, you know? Just like
Hold him by the leg.
Yeah, that would be my move. But then he's only like 40 yards away max, right? So you're like, well, what do I do now? We've got a head start, I guess. So I don't know. Hit it with something. What else? What other characters? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That dude is huge. There's probably no chance. Just try and get away. Ghostface. He's fast. He's got the quickness.
He's just sneaky. He just
shows up. So it's like you
go through one door and he's at the other door.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem, right? Like you leave the house and you get into the car and he somehow beat you to the car. Like he was like you hit him with like, let's just say you hit him with a chair and you see him laying on the ground, right? And then you get into the car and you still see him in there and you're like, oh, I see his feet, but he's magically in the car. That's him, right?
But didn't one of the movies they showed how he did that? Because in one of the movies, it was the copycat movie. It was actually two different people playing Ghostface.
Right, but that's my point. Like, at that point, you're not beating a singular entity. You're beating a city. Like, if it's just a murderous population, you're probably screwed.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Is Ghostface coming into my house?
I don't know, right? Your story.
Were
David.
you home alone and answered the phone?
That's true.
I don't have a phone.
You go. Then you're already done.
Let's play this out.
All right.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hello, David. Are you having a good night?
Hello.
And then he's just there. He's just in your house already.
Okay.
What if the call's coming from inside the house? Well, we already knew that was the case. Says every scary movie ever.
Yeah, really.
Jeez. Stupid. But yeah, I find a lot of flaws in the scary movies. There's a lot of scary movies I haven't seen that I just probably think are dumb. Like there's this one with Justin Long. It's called Tusk. You guys ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this is a bananas story.
Sounds familiar.
I've never seen it. I can't say anything about it other than the concept is a little wild, right? So this guy is supposed to be like I don't know the premise, but like he's some rich dude, right? So Justin Long's character hosts a podcast about like conspiracy theories and like strange people and things like that. So he's trying to go and have this interview with this person. Well, while he's there, I guess he gets drugged, right? And this person has an infatuation with walruses. What's the plural of walrus?
Sis.
Walruses.
Walrye.
Walrye,
yeah.
Exactly, with walrye. And, well, essentially he tries to turn him into a walrus. Like surgically. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
that's
can tell
kind
you
of
I
dumb.
have not seen that.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
It looks good.
I don't know that good is the correct term.
It looks interesting.
But I'm not going to crap on it because I've never seen it, obviously. But it's definitely a wild concept, right? So like things like that, it's like, I don't know. I think I've just learned that if somebody wants to invite me into their home and I don't know them, I'm probably not going to drink the tea that they offer me. There's a very small chance that that's happening.
Yeah. No, I don't go into random people's homes.
No, me neither. Me neither. Even when invited, I'm just like, nah. Nah, dog.
You a vampire?
No, not for me. That's how you know I'm not a vampire. Because somebody invites me in, I'm like,
I'm good.
Nah. It's all good. I'd rather not. It's cool that you're asking, but no thank you. Thank you, no thank you.
Yeah, that's really wild.
That's right.
So
anyway, it looks like we have last call pulled up.
Sounds like a good thing to do.
It does. I think it's time.
Yes.
I think it's time for a call of the last. That looks like a Bourbon. Maybe a
baboon?
Maybe an 1873 Bourbon. Thanks for not spilling mine.
I only spilt a drop.
It looks like a regular bourbon. Let's see. Smells sweet.
A little.
Back up. What was that look for?
Because it is sweet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time I've tried it.
It's not too sweet.
Besides it being in our drink, this is the first time I've had it.
Yeah. Well, it randomly gave me the hiccups there for a second. So there's that. Okay, I like it.
It does have a really good sweetness behind it.
It does.
It's not overly powering.
Sweet up front.
No, it's not.
Sweet up front, hot at the end. Which I think I like. It smells sweeter than I think it tastes.
I'm almost picking up leather and pepper.
Pepper for sure. Maybe a bit of leather.
A plethora of leather.
It's probably 54%. That's my guess.
I forgot that was at the bottom. So now that you know that, yes, it is 108.8 proof.
Well, I feel that.
That's where the pepper's coming in.
Yeah, I feel that proof really easily. It does have some punch right away.
Yeah, it does.
Like you do. You got some punch. I think similarly, it feels like that's kind of like what horseradisher's like. At first initial like kick, you're like, oh okay. I think just naturally, it's kind of like I said with the sweetness, it's a little caramely to me. A caramelly.
This would be good on the
Don't
rocks.
ever say it like
Caramelly. Do what?
This would be good on the rocks, or with a drop of mineral water.
Yeah. Yes, with mineral water rocks. That would make sense. What is wrong with you two? You said it.
No, we did not.
Said rocks or
Mineral water, not mineral water rocks.
Well,
I'm not even sure if that's what came out of his mouth.
that's what I said.
His mouth hole.
My mouth hole said the right word. Your interpretation was bad. No, you guys are both idiots. That's what's wrong here. That's the problem. That's the problem that we're running into. Dingleberry.
It's better than what you called me earlier.
That's true. That was a good one. Yeah.
Yes. I have not heard that one. I'm going to have to use it.
Yeah, you have to keep that one in your hip pocket until it's time and fire away. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I've been saying that since high school. But I do like this a lot. I'm just like, I can confidently say, like, in general, brands I'm not really savvy with. Like, I'm not good at identifying right off the bat what brands things are. But I feel like I've had this before. Something about it is telling me I've had this before, but I don't know that for sure. I think just because of I feel like a familiar taste with that front punch and late burn.
Well, once you get the front punch and late burn,
Yep, that front purr, baby.
it's
I feel you.
It's it has some nice undertones. It's almost kind of buttery.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I mean,
so the main notes are vanilla, cinnamon, and maple, according to the label.
Okay.
I was wrong about my caramelliness. Yes.
No.
Feels like you have something to say.
I'm just happy I didn't watch you say it that time, because the way you say that is so weird.
You're right.
Hey. I mean,
I'm going to make sure to zoom in on your face when you say that.
just get a lip shot. Tip of the tongue, teeth, and lips.
That was really odd in the ears.
Yeah. And for those of you that are watching, the headphones really intensify sounds.
They do. They do a great job of that. That's why we wear them.
So what do you guys think?
I like
Overall.
this. I like it a lot. If I had to guess on, I don't have a great guess on a brand. If I had to guess on a price, I'm going to guess about 42 on this.
Okay.
That's solely based on what I am tasting and what I think the basically like the proof.
Now that you know
Going
the
on
proof.
the 108, yeah. If I had to have guessed the proof, I would have guessed probably between a 100 and a 105. Would have been my original guess. So I'm glad that I was going to be close. Now I can say that now and people be like, no, you weren't. I would have guessed pretty close. I landed spot on the last one, so I knew that was a hundy. But nonetheless, that's my...
Well, the last one was
2
0.
2 ago, sorry. 2 ago.
It's not true. We also had the strawberry gin.
We did have the strawberry gin. That's true.
Snoop Dogg.
But I like this. I would like it much better on the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
100% would.
It needs to be tempered, What age is it? Does it say?
I'm going to go, wait. I'm going to go 6 year.
Doesn't say.
Buttholes.
Which means it's
At least a 50.
not... I mean, color-wise... I'd say 5 or 6.
Yeah. It's been in the barrel for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just based on the color. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think this is a great example of something that I would like on the rocks, specifically due to the fact that I like what I talked about earlier, how I like how it changes the flavor profile as you go through the drink, right? That just kind of melts in. It would just give it a little bit different feel.
It's not something that I would want to drink neat, like we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's a little too much
tough.
heat.
Yeah, it's got some heat right away. So I'm not probably drinking this too often.
Well, since you guys already do know, it is cask strength. So
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No idea on brand here, to be honest with you. Any guesses, David?
I'm lost as a goose.
So
Yeah. What do you think on cost? How much do you think this costs?
It's probably in the 40.
So you both are spot on. $39.99.
Okay.
This is McFarland's Reserve cask
Ah,
strength.
great. Yeah. Okay.
I have never had this one, and that's actually why I got it. Specifically because, like I talked about, the facts of the drink.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They wanted a way to drink good bourbon all year round. I specifically got a hot one to test that theory.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Cool.
I didn't want to go anywhere under. I didn't want to go under 100 proof.
Sure.
Saw this one. Honestly, 40 for this, I thought was a great price.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad price point at all. It would be a good mixer for mixing different type of bourbon cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I could drink this on the rocks. I don't know if I would,
Sure.
just because of the kick in the face that I'm getting.
I'm thinking one large rock, just to slowly dilute as I'm sipping, I think would be perfect for this.
Yeah.
Or the way we made it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't have a lot to say about it, to be honest with you. I think it's good. I would drink it. I would drink it in something more than I would drink it just neat or by itself.
I bet it'd make a nice old fashioned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get a lot of punch out of it. I would be more likely to add probably more cherry juice and muddle down something a little bit more with the bitters in this, though.
Yeah.
That'd be very likely to happen.
Yeah, the heat definitely comes through.
Mm-hmm.
It's at first it's a little off-putting, but I don't dislike it by any means. I think that it has its place. I would probably. I mean, I've said it enough. I'm not going to drink this neat. I just won't.
Yeah.
But that's not a slight at this. I don't drink much of anything neat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's my thought. What would you guys rate it? You think?
I'm going to give it a 7. It would be higher if it would be lower if the sweetness wasn't there. If it was just hot, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not that drinkable.
I agree. I think a 7 would probably be right where I'm at. It's probably between a 6.5 and a 7. And the reason I say that is because I think the price is potentially a little high for people. Not necessarily bad. And that's not to say it's good, bad, and different. I mean, that's a standard bourbon, I would say.
Yeah.
But for what it is, if you're not prepared for a cask strength, then you will be surprised.
Yes, without a doubt.
The local big store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Doing kind of a walkthrough today. Most over 100 proof. The lowest for a good quality that I found was about 33.
Yeah.
So
which I would
expect. Kind of
expect.
spot on.
Yeah.
And of course it goes all the way up from there. So
yeah, which I would expect. I mean, it's good. I do like the flavors. I would definitely say that I like the flavor of it. The punch is pretty quick, so you're getting that pretty fast.
Yeah.
Making a drink out of this probably better than just drinking it by itself, but that is not necessarily going directly into that for me. I think it's just one of those deals like I probably wasn't prepared for a cask strength, and I was just like, oh, wow.
Probably wasn't prepared for it.
Well, and I kind of laughed to myself when you both talking about the drinks earlier, like, can't even taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Now, tasting it neat by itself,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy that we didn't taste it in that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But you had a lot of soda, a lot of ice. So, and then you've got the lime juice on top of it.
Yep.
Right.
So that cut it back.
Right.
I'm going to upset the cart. I'm going to put this at about a 4.5.
Okay.
4.5. Only because the flavor's there, but so's the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And
that heat has got some punch, man.
And it's lingering a little more than I like. And I've drank some 110s, 115s, and thought, no, that's nice. But this one seems to. It's almost like it almost seems like it's a little young.
Take Old Granddad, for example, right? Like that's a 114, right?
Right.
So that and that's not to compare the two.
Right.
It's just to say, like, here's something that's similar. I don't feel that heat with that
No.
like I do with this.
Right.
Again, not a slight at this, but it's got some punch, man. So if you're not ready for that, don't get this because it'll punch you in the face. If you're ready for that, this is right up your alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mind you, my baseline.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I'm not really slighting it. It's not. If it didn't have that burn, it'd probably be on a 5.
Sure. Sure.
Even keel.
Yeah.
With my daily. But because of that persistent burn, it's just continual.
It does linger. It's hard.
It doesn't go away very quick.
No.
Yeah, it's a little tough. I like it. I would drink it again. I would be cognizant of how I drink it.
Exactly.
Now, the same McFarland's has a number of different ones. So they have a 90 and a 98 proof as well.
Sure. I'd be really interested to try those. Yeah. Probably the 90 to start seeing what that
Just to
difference
get a
is
gap,
to pull it back. Yeah. I do like the flavors, though. I think the flavors are really good. I think it's well thought out. I think it's a good drink.
Yeah.
But not my everyday.
It's a nice balance except for the heat.
The heat is definitely there. What about our mixed drink this eve? What do you guys think of that?
If it had been a little bit stronger, it'd been really nice.
Yeah. I like the flavors of it. I think I would have liked more.
Well, let's just see
So,
here.
yeah, there you go. A little punch. Yeah, I mean, that'll definitely change the way that I would have received it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's
I would drink
nice.
it again. Yeah, there you go.
Seriously, I just put it in there.
I will retrain my bartending skills.
Okay.
Yeah, retrain that guy. I like it. I would drink it again. I would drink it differently. But that's not to say it's good, bad, and different. I enjoyed it. I would have to give it probably, based on tonight alone, I would probably give it a 6.5. Depending on how it would be in the future, probably between a 7.5 would be my top end.
It's fair.
Yeah. Just because it's not something I would drink all the time, right? Like if I'm going to drink something this simple, it's going to be a few other things just because of preference.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm right in that area.
Yeah, I'm about a 6.5. The simplicity.
Simplicity is key.
Like.
Yeah. 100%.
That is something that I like.
Yeah.
One of my regular drinks is a vodka with an olive in it.
Yep. Who would have thunk it?
That's it.
Never would have guessed. One olive or one olive from each jar that you
I would
own?
say which olive?
Castelvetrano.
Yeah. Castelvolano.
Did you just say some random Italian city?
Well, it is a city, but no, it's an olive.
Where is the Castelvolano?
Italy.
All right. Cool. Italy.
Castelvetrano.
I think you're saying castle wrong. That's what I'm thinking is happening. Castle.
Castel.
There is a T and an S.
Yes.
Castle.
Castel.
Castle.
Castel.
Do you need me to get my wife?
Yes.
She teaches first grade how to read. Castle.
Okay.
This makes me think about that episode in Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Heap Anonymous.
Heap Hop Anonymous.
You give him all the easy ones.
All the easy ones. That's hilarious. I have accepted the fact that you speak a food language that I'm not able to keep up with.
Okay. I can deal with that. I do have the olives ready.
All right.
I have 5 different olives.
Okay.
They're each from a different region
That was important to me too.
of Italy. And yeah, I've got those ready. I've got to get a couple of the other things, and we'll
All right.
do it.
I'll be here.
Let me know, and I'll get the martini on the schedule.
You guys have been
There we
saying it
go.
for months. I'll be here. I'll show up. You just tell me where to be. Well, really, when to be.
I'll bring my olive pitter
All right.
so you don't
I
get
am fresh
break a
out.
tooth on a stone.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want to break any teeth. That's not one of my favorite activities.
It hurts.
That sucks. No, thank you. I mean, you've been saying it a while, so I'm ready.
All right, we'll do it.
Anyway, good stuff tonight, gentlemen. Good stuff tonight. I do have to say, could have been a better conversation about horror movie avoidance. But
Maybe if we had time to prepare.
No, you don't need time to
Well,
prepare.
you said
Use your
horror
brain.
movie. You said horror movie. First thing I thought of was Jane Fonda.
Classic David.
Horror.
Classic David. Classic David. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it could have been better. You guys could have provided some
Well, you could
top-notch
have
stuff.
You could have prepped us just a little bit better.
You know, you should not blame your tools.
You should ask whether we watch horror movies
Why would I ask that?
because I don't watch them.
You don't need to watch horror movies to know that they exist. That's like saying if you eat fish, do you go fishing?
Yeah.
Do you?
I
Yeah.
haven't in a long time.
See? But you eat fish.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So if you're not a fisherman, you can't eat fish? That's the same concept.
Take that glass away from him.
Yeah, right.
My point
He's
still
barely
stands. Point still stands. Nonetheless, thanks for joining us all. It's been a fun episode. Definitely, if you can and you're ready for it, give a try to the McFarland's Reserve. It's got some heat, so I would probably recommend starting on the lower end if you find it. But I would also try our mixed cocktail tonight, the Bourbon Rickey. Yeah, I keep wanting to say the Gin Rickey because it's the first thing that comes to mind. Bourbon Rickey. Give it a whirl. It's definitely worth trying. Try it. See how you do. Work into the club soda for sure. We just went a little overboard, but that's not anybody's fault. It's just in general. We learn as we go. But anyway, make sure to check out our link for Shaker and Spoon. Get yourself some of the monthly box. It'll be somewhere in this region here. Right in this region. I'm looking at you, so make that happen.
You know, I've listened to you every time, but I may not on this one, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, just put it like over here somewhere. But
It's here.
It's right here.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna flash David's. Just put it right in front of him.
There we go. Somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the move. But check that out. Let us know what you think if you get a chance to get that box. It's definitely something awesome. It's a fun try, and it definitely gives you a lot of versatility with drinks, especially if you're trying to figure out what you
Yes.
like.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
If you're trying to figure out different opportunities, give that a shot. Let us know what you think. It gives you 4 different cocktails and 3 of each, or I think it's
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
4 different cocktails, 3 of each, so you get 12 drinks. So give that a shot. Take a peek at that. Let us know what you think.
Alcohol not included.
Alcohol is not included. It's a very important aspect to know.
Yes.
That way you put your own in there. But they do have recommended options for you, so
Yes.
you can choose to do that. You can also make them in mocktails if you're not an alcohol drinker. They have options for that as well. So something to keep in mind. But with that being said, be sure to check us out on TikTok and Instagram. We have all those there. Check out our links as well to recommend any of the options for different drinks you want us to try, different topics you want us to talk about. Take a look at that and let us know what you think. In the meantime, it's been a fun episode. Our drinks are gone, mostly. And it is time for us to shut her down. So, until next time, the bar is officially closed.